friends, at this time we are going to take some notes on the regions of Alabama. You need your Alabama history folder that we labeled last week. You need markers or crayons and a pencil. Now, if you do not have your folders put together just yet, you can use a sheet of paper, but make sure you keep up with these because we are going to be compiling all of these together. You'll want to have these notes with you so that you can study for your test on Friday. Okay? All right. One more disclaimer. There are quite a few notes today. I don't want you to panic. It's not going to be like this always. There was just a lot of really good information in today's reading, so I wanted to make sure that we pulled out everything that was important. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up our Alabama history folder, and we are going to label the first page, page 1. So you just want a 1 and a circle at the top. And I am using a Sharpie pen just because that is easier for you all to see. When I use this Sharpie pen, that is when you will use your pencil. All right. So we are going to label this page Regions of Alabama. All right, Regions of Alabama. And then right down here at the bottom, just a little bit up. Don't go all the way halfway. You don't need a whole lot of room. Maybe leave 5 or 6 lines down here. And we're going to do like a little squiggly line because I want us to put a little bit of information down here. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to draw a state of Alabama. Now, if you are not very good at drawing, you are in good company. I am not very good at drawing, but it is okay because our state is not a difficult state to draw. Now, if you are really adamant that you don't want to draw, you can print out just an outline of the state and that will be fine, but it will need to be glued to this area of the page. All right, but I think the easiest thing will be just to draw it. So I'm going to start with just a line right here. Our state kind of goes down like this. And then there are 2 little places down here, and then it goes this way. And then there's a little poof right there, and it goes like that. Now, you can see that Miss Lawrence is not the best artist, but that's okay. It's close enough. It looks good enough. All right? And if at any time during this video you need to pause and back up, please feel free to do that. If you are with me, then we will keep going, but don't worry at all if you need to pause and come back. All right? So I want you to take your yellow marker or crayon. Markers probably will work best for this just because we're going to be writing some words with marker. And so they may work a little better. I don't know. You may use crayons. All right. So we are going to draw a line and it's going to be kind of wavy a little bit. And it's just going to kind of go right down here and stop over here at the middle. All right. Now, again, this map is not going to be perfect, but it's going to give you an idea of what is going on. All right. Now we're going to go back to our pencil. Back to our pencil. And we are going to start maybe about halfway in the state, and we're just going to draw a little thingy right there to meet that yellow line right there. All right, so meet that yellow line. And then the next one, we're going to move down the yellow a little bit, and we're going to make sure that our line goes this way. We want to include the corner of Alabama. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to draw one more line about halfway, like that. All right. And then on the other side, we're going to start on the left, the other side of the yellow line. And we are going to draw a line, and we just want to make sure that it goes on the right hand side, just like right below where that yellow line that we did is. All right. And then we're going to go right below that, and it's almost like a straight line across there. And this is how our state is split into different regions. Okay? So, before we move on to any other colors, we are going to go ahead and use this space down here, and you can use your pencil to write this. We are going to write fall line. All right? And we would normally write those words in yellow or in whatever color matched the map. But yellow is kind of hard to show up when we use it for words. So we're just going to underline those two words in yellow to kind of show you that that's what we mean. All right. So that is the fall line. And we are going to write just a short definition of what that is. The fall line is a natural boundary named for falls, like waterfalls, and streams. And there's a little bit more to that, but it's okay. We can just leave it at that. All right. And again, if you ever need to pause, if you're not caught up, it's completely fine. All I need you to do is just pause the video, and then you can catch up with me. Okay? All right. Now, I want you to get your green marker or crayon, and we are going to just kind of trace along where we drew the top and down to the yellow. Don't go past the fall line. Don't go past the fall line. This part, this green part, is called the Appalachian area. So all of these regions in this top right part, so the northeastern part of the state, are called the Appalachian area. And now we're going to use our red. Use our red, and again, we don't want to color over the yellow. We're going to go right along that boundary with our red, and then we're going to just trace along the outline of the state that we drew, just like that. So everything that is outlined in red is called the coastal plain. All right, the coastal plain. All right, so Alabama has two main areas, the Appalachian area and the coastal plain. right? And then within each area, we have different little regions, all right? So we are going to start with, let's start with our gray. And in our gray, we're going to start right here in this spot, and this is called the Highland Rim. And if you don't have enough room to write it with your marker, you can write it with a pencil, and you can underline the words with the colors like we did down here with Fall Line. All right, so Highland Rim. Now we're going to use our orange. Use our orange. And orange is going to be the Cumberland Plateau. E-A-U. Plateau is a hard word for me to spell. I can never remember the exact order of those letters at the end. P-L-A-T-E-A-U. Cumberland Plateau. All right. Now we're going to use blue. And this is the Ridge and Valley region. The Ridge and Valley region. And once again, if I'm going too fast, just pause and come right back, okay? All right, and this final little section over here may not have room. If you need to go out over this little section, it's completely fine. This is going to be the Piedmont region, P-I-E-D-M-O-N-T. P-I-E-D-M-O-N-T region. All right, so these are the 4 regions in the Appalachian area. And now we're going to move to the coastal plain area and list our regions there. All right, we're going to start with our brown. We're going to do this top part. This top part is called the upper coastal plain. That one's a little bit easy to remember because upper, and it is toward the top of the state. Right, this middle section here, we're going to use our black marker. This region is called the Black Belt. See what I did there? The Black Belt region. We're going to use a black marker. And finally, on the bottom, we're going to go ahead and use our purple. I think that should be the last color you have. The purple is the lower coastal plain. Okay, so here's the upper coastal plain, the lower coastal plain, and then the black belt is right here between. All right, now this finishes up our map. This is a great time if you would like to take a short break and then come back. We do have a couple more things that we need to get done in our notes today, but this would be a great time to take a break. All right. All right, friends, so we have our map done, and that is page 1. All right, now we are going to turn to page 2. Now in daily math, we do use the back of our sheets. Most of the time in social or in Alabama history and science and math, if we use markers, We won't use the back because a lot of times our markers bleed through and then it makes it difficult to see the notes that we're writing. So we're going to go to the next page and go ahead and write a 2. All right. And at the top, we're going to write something right on the line. So stay up here. We are going to go ahead and write regions of Alabama again, because now we're going to get a little bit of information about each one of those regions that we talked about. All right. Now I'm going to use my green marker, and you can write your words with this, or you can write with a pencil and underline, whatever you want to do. Remember on our map that the green area was called the Appalachian area, so that's what we're starting with. All right, so we want the Appalachian area. And then once you have your title, we're going to go ahead and block off our page. I like to do this because this makes me mindful of how much room I have for each part. There were 4 parts in the Appalachian area, so we're going to start here and we are going to make a big rectangle on our page. Right, we're going to go about halfway down this rectangle and we are going to draw a line. We're going to draw a line to cut the top half in the middle, and then we're going to draw another line to cut the bottom half in the middle. Now the reason we are making 4 squares or 4 rectangles is because in our Appalachian area we have 4 regions. Okay. So we're going to start with some notes on the Highland Rim, and on our map we used gray for the Highland Rim. So I'm going to use gray and I'm going to write the words Highland Rim in gray. Highland Rim. You might want to go ahead and underline it. I don't know if you want to or not. And then we're going to just put a couple of little notes right here where in the Highland Rim box. All right. So the Highland Rim on our map, we have it labeled, but in the bigger map, the Highland Rim actually swooshes into the Cumberland Plateau. It's actually a part of the Cumberland Plateau. So that's the first thing that we are going to note. It is a part of the Cumberland Plateau. I just realized if you spell plate and then A-U, that's a way to remember it. E-A-U. All right. And something else that I found really interesting from our reading about this area and about the Highland Rim, it stretches from North Alabama through Tennessee and into Kentucky. All right. So I thought that was interesting. Something else in the reading, and I just didn't feel like we had room for this in our box, but I did think it was kind of cool that they said if you look at, if you're in an airplane and you're looking down at that area, that the Highland Rim appears to be like a deep dish pizza crust. So I thought that was kind of cool. I like pizza, I like food, so that's something that I will probably remember about the Highland Rim. Okay. All right, the next part that we are going to write is going to be in orange. And if you remember from our map, we wrote the Cumberland Plateau in orange. So Cumberland Plateau. It's easier for me to spell it that time because I remembered it was plate. All right, so the Cumberland Plateau. And in the Cumberland Plateau, you're going to find some mountains. So the main thing that I noted from this part were that the mountains range from 400 feet to 1,000 feet. All right, the next thing that we labeled on our map was in blue, and this was the Ridge and Valley region. The Ridge and Valley region. All right, and in this region, this is where our major mountains are found. So we're going to say Alabama's major mountains are here. And then the mountains range from 500 feet to 1,200 feet or 1,200 feet. So the mountains in the Ridge and Valley region are a little higher or a little taller than the Cumberland Plateau. And the last part of the Appalachian area is called the Piedmont region. And we used pink for that on our map, so we're going to use pink in our notes. It's Piedmont. And then region. The Piedmont region. And my main takeaway from the Piedmont region was that it is home to Mount Cheaha. So I'm going to put a little dot here, and I'm just going to write the word Mount Cheaha. That's the name of a specific mountain. And right here below that, Mount Cheaha is the highest point in Alabama. And it is 2,400 feet tall, or feet above sea level. Okay. All right, friends, so those are our notes on the Appalachian area. Once again, this might be a great time to take a break. We're going to take just a couple of notes on our other region of Alabama, or our other area, the coastal plain. So if you want to take a quick break, go ahead and pause the video. Go take your break and then come on back and we will finish up. And once again, I promise we don't usually have this many notes, okay? All right, so we have done page 1 with our map and our information on our fall line. We've done page 2 which gives us more information on the Appalachian area. We're going to turn to page 3. We're going to go ahead and number that page, page 3. And once again, we won't use the back because anytime we use markers, sometimes those bleed through. And so it makes it hard to read the notes. All right, so just like on page 2, we're going to go ahead and write up here at the top, we're going to go ahead and write regions of Alabama again, just to remind us that we're still talking about those regions. All right, so regions of Alabama. All right, and if you look back at our map, we labeled the coastal plain with red. So we're going to go ahead and in the title of this page, we're going to do it red, and we're just going to write the coastal plain. And we are going to once again do a big rectangle. And don't get ahead of me because we only have 3 pieces in the coastal plain. We don't have 4, okay? So do go ahead and do your big rectangle. All right, and when I have 3, what I normally do is lay my hand about right in the middle, like that. And then I draw myself a line above, and then I draw myself a line below because I know I need a middle piece because we only have 3 regions in the coastal plain. We don't have 4, okay? All right, so let's get started on these notes. We are about to finish up, friends. All right, we used brown for the upper coastal plain, so let's use brown. And we are going to write upper coastal plain in this box. All right, and a lot of the notes that we have on the coastal plain area, you'll notice the Appalachian area, most of it had to do with mountains and the height of the land and all that. And the coastal plain area is going to be more about growing crops. Okay, so in the upper coastal plain, this area is known for large amounts of cotton, corn, oats, and hay that are grown there. All right, so we're going to write large amounts of cotton, corn, oats, and hay grow here. Okay. All right, and the middle part, we used our black marker, and this is the black belt. And I thought it was interesting in the article that it mentioned something about in like prehistoric times or whatever, that area was actually underwater, and so it created that rich dark soil that makes it so good for growing a lot of different things. All right, so when you think about the black belt, you think about that rich dark soil that looks black. In North Alabama, we have a lot of red dirt. A lot of our dirt is like a reddish orange color, but in that black belt area, the ground it's like very dark black dirt. Okay, so what we can remember about the black belt is that there is rich dark soil, ideal for growing crops and food for So the soil is rich enough that they can grow crops that those farmers can then sell for an income, but it also, they can grow enough to provide food for their livestock. And livestock is just different farm animals. It could be, you know, I don't know, cows, horses, chickens, goats, all of those things. That's what livestock is. All right, friends, we are nearing the end. We are almost finished. We just have one more region that we needed to talk about and get some notes on. Let's use our purple marker. And this is going to be labeled the lower coastal plain. And then in the lower coastal plain, once again, we have information on it being a good place to grow crops. All right, so we're going to say excellent soil, for growing corn, cotton, peanuts, potatoes, and soybeans. All right. And if y'all looked at my slide or paid attention to my get to know you slide at all, you know that I love the beach. So I'm going to write the beach right there and a little heart because I love the beach. And that's where the beach, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, all that stuff is located down here at the bottom of the lower coastal plain. So I have to include that just because it's my fave. All right, guys, I hope you hung with me. Please don't be concerned. We are not going to take this many notes every day. There was just a lot of good information. And also, I am pulling information that you are going to see on your test on Friday. So if you take good notes with me, you're going to be able to use your notebook. So when you take that test, you're going to be able to find all of the answers for the test questions if you just make sure that your notes are good. Okay? All right. See you soon.